So today we are going to talk about the Sun, which is the head of our solar system. In short, about the Sun, it is a medium-sized yellow star, and the planets of the solar system and all things belonging to it are kept in this system due to the gravity of the Sun. An approximate amount has been identified by now. Also, the existence of the receivers, dwarf planets and comets belonging to the solar system depends on the Sun. Also, the Sun started 4.6 billion years ago, and it is assumed that it will continue to function in this way for a similar period of the time. So it can be called a middle-aged star. It can be divided. Here our Sun belonging to group G, and it has a low surface temperature compared to other stars in the universe. Also, the blue stars in the universe emit more heat and light, while the red giant do not release such a large amount of heat and light. Our Sun is a yellow type star. The hydrogen fuel inside the Sun burns and turns them into helium, and the nuclear fusion reaction takes place. This is why its surface temperature is in the range of 5700 kelvins. So this is our mother star, the Sun, 150 million kilometers from the Sun to the Earth at close range. So this distance can be known as one astronomical unit. So the last member of our solar system is our Sun, the Sun itself. If we say how big it is, the Sun can sink 1.5 million planets like the Earth into the Sun. But it is must be said that the Sun is only 10 times bigger than Jupiter. At the core of the Sun, or the inner center of the Sun, the temperature is maximus. The temperature here is more than 15 million degrees Celsius and will not decrease. Also, the Sun is a gas giant that is completely filled with gas. This is why the Sun is like Jupiter, because the Sun has no surface to land on. Also, you see solar flares, solar storms and sunspots from the Sun constantly. So you may remember we made a video about this. If you have not seen that video, go and watch it now. Also, due to these storms in the Sun, the blood gas particles of Sun constantly come fast to the space. Coronal mass ejection is also the name of this process. So like this, the negative rays from the Sun spread throughout the solar system. These can be called solar cosmic rays, like our mother planet Earth can do that. So Earth has the ability to prevent life. However, the Earth is caused by a large solar flare from the Sun. It has the ability to make the Earth itself a lot of ash. It can be said very simply that the solar wind is the wind that comes from the sunspots. Even though the solar wind is not so powerful, this can completely break the communication and technical systems and have a great impact. You may know the solar wind in the last 20th century. Because of this, the communication systems of the Earth fell down. In the last few years, the Sun started to behave violently by constantly creating spots. Because of this, scientists say that the Sun is going to, though it is high activity phase. So because of this, the countries engaged in space exploration are primarily pay attention to the sun. If you have been with the explorations journey, you may already know what about the Parker Solar Probe that NASA recently sent to the sun and India's Aditya mission. However, the Parker Solar Probe sent by NASA was the first to reach the sun. This operation was successful. So this sun is the energy unit of solar system. Without the sun, solar system would not even exist without life. As said earlier, the sun is a middle-aged star. In another 4 billion years, most of the amount of hydrogen fuel it has will completely exhausted. That is the end of the sun. Because of this, the amount of helium in the interior of the sun increase more than the amount of hydrogen fuel. As this helium begin to react with other elements, gradually the amount of heavy elements in the interior of the sun begins to increase. But because there is still hydrogen fuel on the surface of the sun, helium comes to the surface from space to react with it very fast. Because of this, the sun begins to expand. At this time, the sun becomes a red giant by swallowing even the orbit of Mars. By this time, all the planets called Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars have swallowed the sun. At this time, the sun begins to appear red instead of completely yellow in color. That means the sun becomes a red giant. By now, life must have been a happy and sad memory that happened at one time in the solar system. But fortunately or unfortunately, at this time there is a slight possibility that Earthlings have traveled to moons of Saturn, Jupiter or planets like Pluto. Or else there is a small possibility that there will be alien life in them. However, this red giant will live for about 10 billion years. But if you live by that time, you will realize that our sun is dead because the activity of this red giant is minimal. That is why it will start appearing like a dangerous monster in the distant sky. When this time passes, the hydrogen or helium in the interior of surface on the sun is completely exhausted. After that, only metal elements like iron remain. Meanwhile, the remaining part of the sun becomes a planetary nebula. In the center of this asteroid, there is the solar core, and with the passage of time, the core of the sun will become a white dwarf. So this white dwarf will suddenly disappear after a few billion years. That is the end of the sun we see today. So if you think this video is important, don't forget to subscribe to this newly started channel for astronomy and other exploration you don't know. Have a nice day.